Hello, how you doing? This is Vince Hughes here. It's hard to believe the first month of the year has already gone by. Hope your year started off on a good note. Just wanted to do this video to kind of show you an update of the enhancements that are currently in the system now, as well as give a quick overview of still what's to come. Right away, I'll just jump right into settings just to show you a few things that have been changed in settings that you now have access to in your system. First one, not a big deal, but we see the bar up here, unit labor, grain, welding rate, cost. That is now going to stay static as you scroll down, where in the past it wasn't. So it kind of made it, you didn't know what you're looking at, but now that bar stays static. Also, you now have the ability to move tasks around, and the reason for that is when you go to add a new task into the system, before you would put that there, but in the bid list it would be on top. So if you wanted to reorder that, it was kind of a pain because you would have to retype everything in and get it to where you can move it around. But now with its new enhancement, you'll be able to just click on this little crosshair and drag that new task wherever you want it to be in order for your new bid. So just so you're aware of that. So you click on the crosshair and just drag it around. Just go and delete that. Then we'll jump into wages. You're going to see in wages a new area at the bottom of the wages. It says add unit price. Under unit price, you will put this will be for a new report that's in the system right now called unit price report. You're basically going to put in an ironworker, because what this report's going to do is break out for unit price job work. So if you have a job, you have to have unit pricing on it. It's going to develop a report that's unit pricing, which I'll show you in a moment. But to make it work, you got to come in here in your system, go down to the bottom of the page, go to unit price, put in ironworker, probably an operator, put their wage, fringes, tax burden, workman's comp, general liability. That'll give a total. And this is what the report is going to pull from for the wage for the ironworker and operator and whoever else you put into this unit price report here. So just so you're aware of that. And from there, we're going to jump over to we'll jump into new bid. And inside a new bid, we're going to go and first thing you'll see, you now have the ability to edit the new bid number, the job number. Before it was locked in, the system would generate it for you. Now you can change this number to being however you want to order your job numbers. So that's now available in your system. Another thing you'll see too in a moment, I'll bring in, well, let me just do it real quick. We got square footage. Before we had to enter the square footage in. So I'm just going to bring in a job real quick. And while I'm right here, I'll talk about a couple of new features or new integration partners that are now in the system. We now have eTakeoff and Tekla added. And I have Strumis, which is a fabrication software, coming on board here real soon for another integration partner. But I'm just going to bring in a job real quick so we'll get some data in here. So I'm going to jump back up to the top. And as you recall, before we had to come in here and we had to fill out the square footage for us. So now the system's going to pre-populate whatever is square foot in the project is going to populate into the square foot field here. So you will no longer have to fill that out manually. It'll do it automatically. So that's the population, and then, or the square foot population. Then we'll jump down to the task. Another feature that's just been added as well is you're going to see here on each category now there is adjust rates. So what that's going to allow you to do is just for this category, standard beams, I can click on here and I can drop that down by -5%, or I can go up by 5%. Once I hit update, we're at 104.76. I hit update. It drops that down by the 5% that I asked it to. And what'll be good about this is it's going to allow you to massage your bid even more. Especially if you get into higher structures, you could, if you're taking the job off by floors, you get up to the 4th, 5th floor, you can start jumping that production rate up for those beams, because of course it takes longer to erect, takes the guys longer to get into place, climbing the stairs, so on and so forth. But this will allow you on every single category that's in the system, you'll have the adjust rate available to be able to massage that bid. So I think that's a pretty cool feature. Had some several requests for that, so glad to have that in the system now. And then adjust production rates, and so we got that. And now the other thing you're going to see new in the system right now, I probably need to put a little equipment in here real quick. Okay, so then we'll come up here on the top. Now you're going to see a new report up there. It's called Generate Unit Price Report. So when I click Generate Unit Price, what it's going to do is, I got to put a job name in. Okay, Generate Unit Price. So now we got this new report that's going to pop up. And of course, I didn't save the ironworker and the operator. I apologize for that. But if you save in settings the ironworker, you're going to see them populate there with their wage rate. Sometimes on unit price work, you can only mark it up 15% by the contract. So I plug in 15%. It's going to tell me has a warning pops up, kind of explains to you that you're changing it in the unit price report. This is not going to reflect your bid, so on and so forth. You can read that when you change it. But the idea is, so this would be a form that you could give for a project where you have to have unit pricing. But it's going to break down how much the forklifts per hour. Of course, you can adjust all these numbers here if you want to adjust them, but the system does a calculation for what's in that bid, for how much it's going to be per hour. You can adjust the markup here as well. Same thing for crane, general conditions, but you have the ability to adjust everything here. And then we're going to get down here. Now it's going to tell us how much it is for each piece. That's including the labor, crane, and if the task has well time, everything's included for that piece based on what your production rates are in the system and how much it was per piece. So you have the per piece unit price. You'll have a per foot price as well for linear conditions. And so you kind of just get the idea of what we're doing here. It's just a unit price report. Now the cool thing is you have the ability to take it out in PDF or in Excel. So select in Excel, go down to the bottom, hit generate. It's going to generate the report in Excel. If you do it in PDF, it's going to generate it there, of course. So real quick on that, that's just wanted to show you that it's there and kind of talk about it a little bit so you're aware of what the idea is behind it. But that's right now. Well, no, there's a couple more things. So let me go back. Hit cancel. Just want to show real quick in the bid proposal form. There's a couple new fields there. Down at the bottom, you now have the ability to add to the base bid or do a deduction to the base bid. And you also can now change, instead of sending that bid out at $2,950,148.12, you can change this inside the proposal, so that way it'll print out it looking that way instead of kind of just rounds it up. Had a lot of people asking for that as well, so I made that available. So right now that kind of takes it to the end of what's in the system right now. So there's been about 10 enhancements done, plus some other stuff inside the system that I've been working on just to keep things up to date and speed it up. Nothing that you would really see, but always working on the system to keep it running smooth. but I still do have 6 more items coming, and one's going to be a new project report, which is going to kind of replace the schedule of IG report and a task summary report. It's going to combine into one report. And what's going to be cool about it, I think, is it's going to go out into an Excel as well. And the idea of this report was to be able to let it integrate with some of the accounting softwares that will accept Excel. So that's going to be pretty cool, as well as it's going to show you a piece count. So it's going to give you an average based on what you have in the bid. It's going to give you an average piece count of everything that's in the project. And then it'll break it down by size of beam, how many of these you're going to erect a day, how many joists you're going to put in a day, based on the production rates that you have in your system. So I think that's going to be valuable too, because it kind of gives you another way to look at it. Of course, we're always looking at, when we're bidding, how many pieces can we do per day. So this report will allow you to see those numbers to kind of, give you a better comfort level of what's coming out of the system. Another one I'm really excited about, I'm hoping this is going to come out here at the end of the week, is what they're telling me. I still got to see it. I'm hoping to see it over the next days to approve it. But what it's going to be is called the Smart Fuel Calculator, and it's based on equipment manufacturer's fuel burn rate. So inside of settings, once that comes out, you'll be able to put in, it's going to come defaulted with some manufacturer's burn fuel rates for the equipment that's in the system right now, but of course you're going to want to verify that. But I'll get more into detail once that comes out. I'll make another video and kind of show you how that works. But I think this is going to be really cool because it's going to calculate the fuel usage for any equipment that you put in a job. And so that's coming, and I'm hoping next week. But I know how it goes. Hopefully it does. Hopefully it does happen, but we'll see. The weather projection. The weather projections, I think, is going to be very valuable too. You enter in your average crew as you do now, but you're going to select the state the project is located in, and you'll enter in the projected start date for the project. At that point, the Bid Wizard will calculate potential weather days based on the area and time that you're in for that project, and the data is pulled from the weatherbase.com. So pretty excited about how this might be benefit. You'll have the ability to add it to the bid for you're going to have lost days or not, or it'll just be knowledge for you that, hey, this such and such month to month, there might be some weather. But I think it'd be a good feature to be able to, especially if we bid a job and we expect it to start in October, but it starts in December, and we kind of had it planned for October, and then the weather's going to change and get bad, snow or whatever it may be. If we kind of spelled that out in a proposal, had some data to back it up, that's what, we had figured, it might help us at that point. So I think that's going to offer some really good benefit as well. And then we have also coming tonnage comparison. So you'll be able to see the cost of the project by ton and man hours per ton. And the ability to clone bids is still coming. The ability to change the bid proposal heading to a change order request. So that way you can edit it. If you want to do a change order request through the system, you'll have that ability to change the heading on the bid proposal. And it's also going to start placing the job number on the bid proposal. So I took a little bit longer than I hoped to say. I was trying to get to this pretty quick. I know it's hard to take your time and sit through it, but I hope you guys enjoy these new enhancements. Would love to hear your feedback on them. And I look forward to getting the rest of them into the system and then start working on what we're going to do next in the system coming up over this next year. I hope it's the best year ever for all of us. And like I say, would love to hear back from you. Take care.